Do you read Iron Man, Stephanie?
No. I mean, I had that Iron Man Extremist that Adi Granov did, but that's about it. I really didn't read too much, but after seeing the movie, I really did want to get into him. Just cause, I mean, besides what was in Ultimates.
To be honest, you really should go pick up those Essential Iron Man collections.
Iron Mans?
Those, like, the beginning of it, because that stuff is really interesting. The beginning of Iron Man, the first several years, is good stuff, and when you hear people saying, how in the world are they possibly going to make Mandarin work as an Iron Man villain in the next movie, which is apparently the plan.
Is that they hinted at
Iron Man is a doctor, is like a Fu Manchu type of mystical character.
I got to say, of all the characters that have ever existed in the world, Mandarin is clearly the most insulting racial stereotype ever.
It is.
Oh, so Iron Man, you plan to fight me in my rings?
John Cho will play it because there are no available.
Yeah, I'm just like
American
with like the idea of making the Mandarin a villain right now. I'm like, how in the hell are you gonna pull that off?
Totally, you'd have to change it all. But you know, the idea that he is sort of Iron Man's kingpin. He's the one who's tying together all these other villains who've been coming at the Iron Man. He's the guy who's been pulling the strings behind the scenes. I mean, if you're going to do it, the way to do it is not have him happen till the end of the second film, where you discover, oh, guess what? All these other villains that are coming out of the fucking woodwork, they're all from this one dude.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to sound ignorant, but does that Jon Favreau's storyline isn't he doing a comic with Adi Granov? Does that have anything to do with
the
series?
He is.
Or the films?
I posted a blog about it, and I picked up the first issue. Yeah, Adi Granov, if you don't know the name, I'm sure you know his work because he does all the best Iron Man paintings. I mean, he's responsible for the new look of Iron Man, basically.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, him and John, there's a series out now. It's Iron Man Viva Las Vegas. It's written by Jon Favreau. Adi Granov is doing the painted art inside. And I don't know if there's a direct tie into the movies, but just from the feel of it, it looks like it picks up right where the movie leaves off. It's just, it's Tony Stark on a plane on his way to Paris, stopping a terrorist, and the French all cuss him out. And he's like, fuck this town.
Yeah.
So he goes to Las Vegas. Like, what's the most anti-French place I can go?
Yeah, Las Vegas. Yeah. Or Dubai.
That's true.
All right, so what do you got next in the bag?
All right, what I got?
The
Maybe
big brown bag.
Okay, Justice League of America.
You're still reading Justice League of America? I thought it has been crappy for a long time, is what I had heard.
Justice League is one of those comics where here's a cycle that Justice League comics go through. They start with the big guns, the guys the basic seven who are in the cartoon, and it goes for a while, and then they start going like, well, we need to have Batman, Superman, or Wonder Woman leave for whatever reason, and we start bringing in other characters. And it eventually devolves to the point where Aquaman's the leader, or just something obscure like that. The sales go down, and they end up canceling the comic. Only to, like, a few years later, say, like, hey, Justice League is back. And it's got the Flash and Aquaman, and Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman in it again. And it's like, dudes, stop being douches and just stop taking them out. Leave it that way.
I'm still stuck on the idea of Aquaman leading anything. It's like, you could give him a hook for a hand. You could give him Shaft's dick. You could, like, cut off his head and replace it with the lead singer of Radiohead. It doesn't really matter. He's always going to be a loser.
See, you say that, but I had, like, if it was up to me to write Aquaman, I have an idea that would change it complete. Not change it completely, because I'd keep it the same. I appreciate the history. I revere it. I would keep all that, but I would make him so cool, everybody would respect him forever.
Yeah, okay. I got to hear this, because I can't imagine.
Oh, yeah, if I tell it to you now and somebody else writes it,
I see how it is.
Action Comics, Superman.
There's an Action Comic still? I thought that was from, like, the 40s or something.
It's been around forever.
Has it been running the whole time? Has there always been an just Action Comics?
This is issue 856. I mean, 865. What do you think?
Yeah. And now it hasn't always been just Superman, though, right? Has it?
Ever since Superman appeared in Action Comics, it's been
a Superman title.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the reason I'm buying Action Comics at the moment is because for a while they were running a storyline that was written by Jeff Johns and Richard Donner, which featured the Phantom Zone criminals, General Zod.
No kidding.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, it went into detail about, the criminals, where it showed that Non was originally...
is that the chick?
No, he was... the wrestler.
Stupid guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the stupid guy. Where originally he was Jor-El's, like, his professor.
Yeah.
Jor-El was his protege. he was the one who showed Jor-El that, like, yeah, Krypton's going to, be destroyed. But because he spoke out, the Kryptonian Council had him lobotomized.
What a bunch of dicks.
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah.
That is a terrible thing to do.
Oh, I know.
So are the Kryptonians now being turned into basically assholes in the context of the history
The Council
of Superman?
themselves, I mean, the Council were always assholes.
Because I thought that the whole idea was, well, yeah, because they didn't believe
Jor-El
saying,
or Al Gore, as I like to call him, was trying to tell him, like, hey, look, the world's coming to an end. We need to do something. And they're like, yeah, okay, Jor-El, whatever. You and your electric cars and global warming and
crystal
green
computers.
Exactly.
That'll never work, you crazy man.
Right. The Kryptonian Council was basically made out of Rush Limbaugh and Bill O'Reilly.
Okay, fair enough. So they lobotomized.
Yeah.
That's why he's dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
And can't use his heat vision properly.
Yeah, but there was a whole storyline where General Zod, where a Kryptonian kid came over and Superman's like, wow, Kryptonian kid. And he pretty much adopted him, only to find out that he was actually General Zod's kid, and he provided a way for everybody from the Phantom Zone to escape. And they just took over the Earth.
Okay. Wow.
So it was a whole thing of, like, how...
See, now I'd like to see that as the Superman Returns sequel.
It would be awesome.
Of course, the fear is, once again, he's just going to hit all the same notes from the second Superman.
Well, you know what? And the thing was, Bryan Singer, he originally planned to put General Zod in Superman Returns.
I heard that.
Yeah, he was going to get Jude Law to play General
good
Zod.
Choice. Good
yeah,
choice.
Exactly. And Jude Law just ended up going like, nah, I don't want to do it.
Oh, come on, Jude.
And then so he said, like, well, if I can't get Jude Law, I don't want to do it.
Jude.
I know. Don't make it bad.
Take a sad reboot franchise
and make it better.
and make it better.
If I'd been drinking, I would never let you get away with
I
that.
know you wouldn't know that. I took full advantage of your alcoholism.
Okay. I'm also reading the Superman, what do you call these things?
Damn, what's with all the DC here? Jesus.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I'm not a DC.
I'm a Marvel kid all the way.
All the
yeah.
way?
Marvel
Really? Both of
zombie.
you guys?
Yeah.
The DC superheroes, they're the iconic ones.
I suppose.
I grew up watching a lot of,
They always hit the best
Superman,
cartoons.
Batman, but not really reading so much.
No, I agree with you. The DC animation has traditionally been better, but in every other way, Marvel has been better. The films have been better. The
No, there was a long
comics
time
have
when
been
they were
better.
not.
Yeah, the
Well,
Batman,
there
Superman.
wasn't any.
The first ones were.
There
so
wasn't
good.
any Marvel films to speak of.
Well, there was Punisher, and there was a Spider-Man TV show.
Actually, I liked the Spider-Man TV show.
No,
when I
you
was-
didn't.
When I was 10.
It was
Anyway,
before my time.
All-Star Superman. I got that. I don't know.
What is that? That's the Grant Morrison that everybody's talking about, though. Everybody's saying how great the new Grant Morrison Superman is.
Yes.
All-Star Superman or
Yes.
something? Okay. Yeah. I can't believe any artist worth his salt would want to work with him, because every Grant Morrison panel is filled with dialogue.
It's funny because this is a perfect segue into Batman. This whole Batman R.I.P.
Oh,
story.
yeah, because they're supposedly killing off Bruce Wayne.
Right. And this is the second issue from the Grant Morrison Batman R.I.P.
Grant Morrison.
Rest in peace.
I love Grant Morrison when he was writing Doom Patrol, but now I'm very unhappy.
Here's the thing. He's been writing Batman, and it's actually been pretty good.
Yeah.
Up until this whole Rest in Peace thing started. Because I got the last one. I had to read it 3 times to figure out what the hell is going on. Grant Morrison, I've always said this, he's great at coming up with the high concepts, like when he was writing New X-Men. Great with coming up with the high concepts, but not so good on the day-to-day on how to make it flow in a logical way. It's like in his head, he's already worked it out, but he writes it in a way where like somebody picking up, reading it goes like, wait, you just skipped from point A to point G.
Yeah.
Without any explanation in between.
2 panels.
Yeah, in 2 panels.
Yeah. No, I agree. When I read the stuff he did with Justice League of America, I was like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
What the hell happened here?
Yeah.
This is so confusing. It's like reading a Wikipedia entry as a comic book.
Wow. That's good, but yeah. Now we move on to New Avengers and the whole Skrull invasion.
Yeah, now with that I am actually interested in. I'm following Secret Invasion. I haven't read 3 yet. I got it. Haven't read it yet.
Yeah, see, I had that in this bag also.
Yeah, I really, so far, like what they did with Secret, they're doing with it. But then again, with Civil War, I like the first several issues of that as well.
Yeah, Civil War is really tainting the Skrull thing, because the Skrull invasion is actually a better idea.
Yes, it is.
But after the way they dropped the ball on Civil War...
the way it ended, ugh.
I mean, that was one of those things where it's like, wow, this is really something huge. I mean, how are they going to write themselves out of this?
You shouldn't deal with concepts that big and that really about bigger things without knowing beforehand how you're going to end it.
Without having a good exit strategy before you start.
Exactly.
Did you read Civil War at all, Steph?
I am starting it, but I am not near the end at all.
Because it's a great beginning.
It starts off really good.
But then it's going to fall flat.
Yeah, there's things that happen. You're like, oh my God, this is huge.
Yeah.
How do they come back from this? And yeah, only to realize like, oh, they didn't know.
Yeah, they're making it up as they went along.
Oh.
But that's Mark Millar for you.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's one of those. All right, I got our favorite comic here, Ultimate Spider-Man.
Hell yeah, best comic book being written today.
Hey, have to bring this up every week.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the best comic. And if you're somebody who's been listening to us and you start watching Spectacular Spider-Man, this is just about the comic book version of that.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, it's not exactly the same.
Not
by any
exactly,
stretch of the
but
imagination.
it's the closest you can get.
If there is one, if you only have the money to buy one comic book and you like superheroes, you should be buying Ultimate Spider-Man.
The Invincible Iron Man. Now, this also sort of picks up from the movie. This came out at the same time. This and Viva Las Vegas. Except this is Iron Man fighting the son of Obadiah Stane from the movie.
I thought you were saying the son. It's like, great. So it's being written by Mr. Burns. Remember?
Right.
Ever since the beginning of time, man has dreamed of destroying the sun.
This is the second issue. It was
Yeah.
enough for me to pick up the second one.
Okay.
Give it a shot.
We still got more in the bag, and the
Jeez.
bag goes ever on.
Okay, Ultimate Origins.
I haven't heard about this. What's the deal with
It's
that?
something new from the Ultimate universe.
Which I am extremely fond of. In fact, I've almost, now that they've totally screwed the pooch on Amazing Spider-Man, and they have, don't buy it. I really have lost interest with almost the entire regular Marvel universe. But the Ultimate universe continues to fascinate me.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, in this Ultimate universe, they're starting to tell the origins of these characters. And as you can see, Wolverine's on the cover, and this
Yes.
book is written by our favorite guy, Brian Michael Bendis.
Love him.
That's all you got to hear, right?
I'll
Yeah.
read anything he writes.
What's your favorite Brian Michael Bendis, Stephanie?
I actually just read his Daredevil run, and
Oh.
I never liked Daredevil, but I read
that's
that,
the
and I
one,
was
yeah.
like, oh my God, this is so good. So,
He really... I think, aren't you the one who bought me that Daredevil?
Yeah.
Brian Michael Bendis graphic novel?
Yeah, I know I had to turn you on to it.
I was like, oh my God. And it's not... who's the artist on those?
Alex Believe.
yeah.
Who is...
He's amazing.
Amazing. It's just like, as
I love
much
it.
as I was affected when I was younger by the Frank Miller Daredevil, I might actually like this better.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's definitely a perfect combination, I think. But my friend actually, he thinks Alex Maleev is too gritty. I don't know. I'm just kind of like, I really like that kind of style, like that Bill Sienkiewicz kind of,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
really dark.
Well, it really works for Daredevil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect pick.
This other book I just started picking up called The 12.
Huh.
It's by Straczynski.
Oh, see, that's good. I like J. Michael Straczynski. He's one of the
This is
only...
issue 3.
That's
Oh.
right.
I
He's
haven't
one of
read
the
issue
only
2.
things I like about the whole last couple years of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Is that he did have some really good stuff he did. He did some really stupid shit, too, like finding out Gwen Stacy was having sex with Norman Osborn. What
I
the
know.
hell was that?
I know. He was trying something different. Hey, look, I give him credit for the fact that when it didn't work, he immediately abandoned it. So the 12 is about all these characters from World War II who go and storm this Nazi base but get captured and frozen in time. They're in suspended animation, and they wake up now. And, you talk about Captain America. It's all these guys. But they weren't, like, on the level of Captain America. Half of them were just, like, dink heroes.
Right.
So it's all them being, like, controlled by the government. The government's like, hey, they're still on the clock.
They come out after all that time. They come out and they're like, "Hello, you're supposed to be at work at 9 a.m."
and is the government saying, like, with all this mess going on with Civil War, where you got some heroes trying to rebel and don't want to do what we say, we got 12 heroes here, and that's all they know is doing what the government says. So we're going to work them.
That sounds up my alley.
Speaking of Daredevil, got the new issue of this.
Now, who's writing it now?
Ed Brubaker, who I talked about doing Captain America, has been writing it.
I like Ed Brubaker.
I do too, and I thought Ed Brubaker did a great job of picking up where Bendis left off to finish off the storyline of Daredevil being incarcerated.
Yeah, I just started reading his run on that recently, and I'm like, okay, it's not as good as Bendis.
It's not as good as
but
Bendis.
It's still very satisfying.
And Brubaker has a real problem with taking too long to wrap a story up.
He really likes that girl that Daredevil was in love with but died. What's her name?
Karen Page?
Yeah, he likes Karen Page a lot.
Well, all of them. your boy Kevin Smith was the one who killed her off.
Yeah, no, I know. And it wasn't my boy, it's Carlisle's boy.
That's right, Carlisle's boy.
Okay, I was going to say, don't put that on me.
And it's like, he just wanted, like, I'm going to write this comic for a short while, and I want to make my mark, and then leave. It's like, oh, great. Thanks for taking...
What a dick move.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for leaving a shit stain on this. So I'm still buying Daredevil because once he wrapped up that storyline, the ones he's been doing since then haven't been as good. I just keep hoping. Come on, Ed. You're going to do it. This is going to be that one.
Right. Not so far yet.
Not so far, but hey, I haven't read this one. This could be that one.
That could be the one that everyone talks about. And then it turns out it's worth like $500 tomorrow. Yeah,
now,
that'll happen with the comic.
The Joss Whedon X-Men, Astonishing X-Men.
Hell yeah, which I admit, I'm only buying the graphic novels as they come out. I'm not
this is the final wrap-up to the story.
Oh, is this going to be the last Joss Whedon one?
I believe. Well, it is for this storyline because, hey, I love what Joss Whedon's doing on this.
Yeah.
But he does only release like 2 issues a year.
He's
like,
a busy man.
Step it up.
Yeah.
Well, hey, busy I understand, but look, either commit or don't.
Yeah.
Remember Kevin Smith? He was supposed to write a Spider-Man miniseries, and he wrote, 1, maybe 2 issues? Or maybe it was just 1 issue, and then never touched it again for 4 years.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. It's the Mark Millar syndrome.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Look, either do it or don't do it.
Yeah, Millar doesn't even have the excuse of writing screenplays and stuff like that. He's just, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. So this is supposed to be the big wrap-up.
Okay.
Which I just say, like, hey, I'm glad it's here, but goddamn, finally.
Yeah.
The last one would be the 3rd issue of Secret Invasion.
Yeah, which I am very much looking forward to reading. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm just, I'm kind of on tenterhooks waiting for that moment when it jumps the shark, just like Civil War did. But.
Right. And with the 2nd issue, it got revealed that Spider-Woman, who Nick Fury has been trusting this whole time,
is a
Skrull.
And we know...
Matter of fact, she's the Queen Skrull, right?
Oh, well, I don't know about that. Is she?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that makes a lot of sense based on some of the stuff I've been reading that was taking place right before Civil War lately.
Yeah.
So, okay. Because she's kind of a bitch.
Yes, ever so often she is.
So how many agents? There's a limit.
Well, that is the thing where even Nick Fury is like, okay, now are you a double agent or a triple agent?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
You're just like an agent slut, pretty much. You're working for everybody. It's like any secret agent say, hey, we'd like to introduce ourselves. We're the Mormons. Great, can I work with you? I won't tell anyone. But Stephanie, I know you must have something that you want to promote, something that right now you're so crazy in love with, besides Cyrus, that you just want to grab and hug to you and slowly massage into a state of relaxation and talk about how great it is. What is that thing?
I guess on the topic of comics, I noticed you didn't have Kick-Ass, which is the new Mark Millar.
Only because I couldn't find the 1st issue.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
Is it?
I'm actually really enjoying it. It's probably the 1-issue book that I'm reading right now.
I read the first one and I really liked it.
Yeah, I think 3 just came out, but it's
it did.
Kind of, have you heard the stories of like these MySpace kids who are like, we're real superheroes, or like we read comic books and we want to be superheroes. It's like that kind of story where he's just like an average Joe kind of, high school kid.
There are no actual superheroes in it.
Okay, because I saw the 2nd issue in the store, kind of pretty much flipped through it. It's like he just gets the shit beat out of him for the whole issue.
It's like
I mean, like even Jesus Christ didn't get beat that bad.
Well, he did in Mel Gibson's.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he'd be laying there bloody and looking over at Kick-Ass, going like, "Damn, dude, that's rough."
You posted a blog about James McAvoy maybe being Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah,
that's got me really excited.
I really like James McAvoy.
Yes, I love him, and I was really worried, but, now Guillermo del Toro and James McAvoy possibly.
He's one of the only actors I can honestly think of that made me go, you know what, that could probably work right off the bat without a moment hesitation.
Sure.
Yeah, and apparently the whole internet pretty much agrees. It's like every website that's covered the story went and said, yeah, we fully support that. Okay, so I hope those guys are listening. The spill seal of approval. And Stephanie.
Hey, Cyrus and Leon. This is Chongo. From that website, spill.com. And I'm here to inform you that as of next year, it is a requirement to read 2 graphic novels to graduate. One graphic novel is the school's choice, which I believe is going to be Mouse. And the other one is for you to choose. And what I love about this is that the school is actually appreciating that graphic novels or comics as a whole are an art form and they need to be studied in our schools instead of being tucked under the rug and saying that it's garbage. And I was wondering what graphic novel you guys would choose if you guys were still in school.
Well, Chongo, that's not an easy question to
I love
answer.
that name, Chongo. I was thinking of the Banana Splits. Uh-oh, Chongo.
La, 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 la. So it's a college class or a college thingy. All of us at Spill are entirely unexperienced with that. So
Wait, college or just higher education in general?
higher education in general.
Well, hey, don't sell Stephanie short.
That's
she went
true.
to college.
You went to college, didn't you?
I did.
We're so proud of you. You're a bigger nerd than us,
Yeah.
but a hotter nerd than us. So that's got to count for something. But, you know, I mean, that's great. College is coming around to our way of thinking. Mouse, a fantastic graphic novel. That would be the first thing I would have thought of. Yes, absolutely. Mouse and Mouse 2, which are essentially just the same
Pretty much the
Same
same
thing,
book.
split
yeah.
up for money by the publisher.
Yeah.
But what's the other one? What would you choose for that second graphic
Well,
novel?
gosh, I'd probably go with The Watchmen. Just being, such an intellectual book that deals so much with history and politics.
Sure.
And perfect college students because it's all about, well, I don't know. I just think it's the kind of book where, like, if you're going to ever introduce superheroes, it would be the one to do it with.
Yeah, no, and you're right. That's the book to introduce superheroes. But I picture this crowded stuff with old people smoking cigars, looking at this curriculum, going,
You're still thinking of John Houseman from The Paper Chase.
No, I'm picturing what happens whenever they elect a new president. Like Bill Hicks said, they bring him into the little smoky room and they show him the Kennedy assassination just from an angle you've never seen before. And then they say, "Any questions?" Just what my policies are going to be. No, you know what I'm saying? Though, it's got to be a curmudgeonly situation there. So I say don't start off as superheroes, or at least not, obviously, overtly superheroes.
Okay.
I say V for Vendetta would be a good way to start.
Oh, good choice.
I mean, you've seen the movie, maybe you liked it, maybe you didn't, but you have to take my word for it. It's one of the finest examples of graphic novels ever written.
Very true.
Yeah, I mean, Alan Moore's a genius, and you don't have to look much further than that to figure that out.
Okay, so we're all on this Alan Moore tip, pretty much.
He's one of the greatest writers in the history of comic books. And sure enough, just, absolutely, he's completely mad, sir.
Well, that's true. Like, if I wasn't going to go Watchmen, I would say V for Vendetta. That's probably a better choice.
I just think for the start. Now, you would get to Watchmen eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but V for Vendetta might be a better starting point. And, if not there, maybe like Love and Rockets by Gilbert and Hernandez.
Yeah, Gilbert and Jaime Hernandez.
I guess if I were sticking to non-superhero stuff, I would say maybe Blankets by Craig Thompson.
Oh.
I haven't read that.
See, I haven't read a lot of it, but the little bit I have, it's pretty good.
Tell me about that, actually.
It's just one of those slice of life, kind of like it's his childhood kind of story, and he grows up kind of in a very conservative Christian family, and then just his kind of coming of age and as he goes, Bible camp, I think is where he goes. But it's a really nice book, and then there's also Ghost World by Daniel Clowes.
Oh yeah, also a movie made from it.
In fact, that made me think of American Splendor as well. Another one.
Which
the movie
I
was made
actually
from,
haven't
but-
seen or read. So
it's excellent.
It is.
Yeah.
Both parts of it. Great soundtrack to the movie too.
Well, that's true.
But yeah, and also I don't know. This is for me. I had to read Mouse in school, but I was also really influenced by Kabuki Metamorphosis, which was done by David Mack.
Yeah.
And his art. Well, I guess I went to an art school, so I was very influenced by. He just has amazing water.
Did you know David Mack did Daredevil for a while?
Yes, that's
Yes,
where I knew the name
with
from. Okay,
Quesada.
I was like,
He's very artsy.
Yeah, and it's the text is included in the art.
There's also Yummy Fur by Chester
yeah.
Brown.
Yeah, great.
And what was the other guy who was in that group? And I liked his comic. Well, let's see. There was Seth. Joe Mack. Joe Mack and Peep Show is the name of his book. That's right, Optic Nerve by Adrian Tomine.
Oh, yeah.
And the only reason I didn't mention it was because I never read that comic.
And Evan Dorkin's Milk and Cheese.
Oh, love Milk and Cheese. Milk and Cheese is awesome.
Milk and Cheese was awesome.
And, oh, God, well, if we get on this whole independent comics trip, my favorite guy was Peter Bagg.
Oh,
with,
yeah.
With Hate.
And the Bradleys.
Yeah, I love the Bradleys.
Yeah. Have you seen that weird thing he's doing now where he's doing historical comics?
Really?
Yeah, he's doing like a History of America thing right now.
Oh, no, I haven't seen it at all.
It's really strange where they're all like just like the Bradleys. Really, they're all a bunch of kind of jerks. It's like the founding fathers are all just kind of bitching at each other.
Oh, wow. Oh, I got to check that out.
It's really strange. But no, I was to say, I don't know if you ever read Reed Fleming, World's Toughest
Dude,
Boatman.
I love Reed. You know what? I was just thinking about Reed Fleming the other day, and I was like, man, I don't hang around with any of the guys who used to read Reed Fleming with me.
Fleming was awesome.
It was. And you know, they almost made a movie with Jim Belushi.
I know. I heard that. I just read that recently. I was skipping around on IMDb, and I saw like a trivia thing about that.
It was big talk for a while, and I'm so glad they never did that.
Well, only because Jim Belushi.
Yeah, that's the reason.
I mean, if they had the right guy for that. I mean, if they had done it with Sam Kinison when he was alive.
It still reads it's a hard thing to pull off.
Yeah.
To get the right vibe for it.
Yeah. Does that answer your question, Chongo?
Yeah. I mean, you're going to fail anyway, Chongo, but just, take some fun stuff
nice.
to read. Why not?
Mouse is really good.
Mouse is good. Yeah.
Mouse is excellent. Persepolis, another graphic novel that's been turned into a fantastic movie.
There you go.
So we've given you tons of choices.
Yeah. If you fail now, it's no one's fault but yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For taking a comic book class.
Bill takes no responsibility. All right. Anyway, thank you so much, you guys, for listening to yet another LEOG. It's been a lot of fun. Stephanie, thank you so much.
Really,
Oh,
Stephanie,
no, thank you for having me.
You
were
saved
awesome.
us on this one, too. You came out of the woodwork to come help us out and you've been great.
I love the idea of I like when we get professionals here, but I also like the idea of just getting, our members and fans in.
Yeah,
just
I agree.
Just kind of take a pulse of who we have out there on the site.
And you did great. So this worked out terrific. We will be back in another 2 weeks. Once again, please, the audio contest. If you want to win the Love Guru sculpture or Magic 8 Ball, I guarantee you, well, I'll be very pleased to get rid of it. But thanks again, and that's it from anything else?
Just want to say, hey, good night, and keep those requests and letters coming.
Okay, thanks, folks.